Meet Tom. He's a proud father of 3 with above average intelligence. He's an autonomous man, and he's in control of the decisions he makes. Take the grocery store, for example. Sometimes he buys things that are on sale because it's good to save money. One time, Tom cleaned up his mess after eating in the lobby of a psychology department because he's a good, considerate person. We ran into Tom one day in Huntington Beach, California, home to the US Open of Surfing, the largest surf contest in the world. We asked Tom a question about the US Open, and he wasn't sure of the answer, so we gave him one. But we told him it was a wrong answer. We then asked him to guess the correct answer. So he did what we all do when we're uncertain. He thought about the circumstances, used his own reasoning, and came up with the best answer. Nice story, right? There's only one problem with it. Tom, as well as 79 other people we talked to, gave answers that were way off target. And there's a reason why. People were consistently unable to separate themselves from the incorrect answers, and this is because of a psychological effect called priming. If you asked a fancy academic what priming is, they would tell you that priming occurs when a stimulus in the past affects the way subjects respond to subsequent stimuli, and priming is particularly present when subjects are unsure of how to proceed in a situation. To the rest of us, this simply means that whenever we're unsure of how to proceed, we will be influenced by suggestions from our subconscious. And these suggestions will be largely based on whatever stimuli we received before the uncertainty arose. Here's how priming came into play with Tom and his fellow participants. We asked them, how many years has the US Open of Surfing been held in Huntington Beach? We primed each person with one of 4 incorrect answers: 5 years, 20 years, 90 years, or 155 years. And as we primed each person, we reminded them the number we gave them was 100% wrong. And here's what we found. People primed with 5 years averaged an answer of 15 years. Primes of 20 years averaged an answer of 40 years. Primes of 90 years averaged 71 years. And primes of 155 years averaged 106 years, with people answering as high as 208 years. People were heavily influenced by the information we gave them, even though they knew it to be false. So what, you may be thinking to yourself? Of what consequence is silly trivia anyways? Well, what we did with Tom only covered one tiny aspect of priming. Priming becomes even more powerful when you're on autopilot and not contemplating an explicit question. It impacts our decisions in a multitude of ways, from the associations we make throughout our day to the things we buy at the store. And our behaviors can be primed by any sensory input, from the things we see and hear to even things that we smell. Remember that time that Tom cleaned up his mess after eating in the psychology lobby? He was part of another study in which people who had been in a room that just smelled like cleaning supplies were 3.5 times more likely to clean up after eating. Now ask yourself, how often are you 100% certain of the decisions you make on a day-to-day basis? How often do you turn your autopilot off? If you're anything like Tom and the rest of our participants, the answer is not that often at all. But it's okay, because now that you're aware of what priming is and one way it works, here's what you can do. Be mindful of your surroundings. What kind of people do you spend most of your time with? What kind of music do you listen to? Does it smell nice in your home? These stimuli will all have an impact on how you respond to things that come up in your day. So be aware of what kind of environment you create around yourself, because in times of uncertainty, which are incredibly common, consciously or not, at least some part of you will be looking around to the near past and your environment for clues on how to act. So how many years has the US Open taken place in Huntington Beach? The answer is 22. Actually, that's an incorrect answer. And what do you think the actual answer is? Here's a clue. The answer is not 5 either.